Hey fellas,
What's up,
welcome
fellas?
back. It is May 13th. We are back at it again for the fourth day in a row. One more makes it the week. What do you have to say about that?
Uh, one, proud of us
Me
for
too.
creating a show. Yeah, go us. Yeah, go us. Um, yeah, not gonna lie, last night was a roommate's birthday. Um, got a little,
Hey, it's alright.
had
We're
a couple
here
Mountain
now.
Dews, got a little
Yeah,
jacked up on Mountain Dew, and
Dorito.
Doritos and Mountain Dews, and it was a little bit of a rough morning doing some research, and the research was done not at the desk this morning; it was done in the bed. Um, it was definitely a propped up on the head kind of morning, but we got her done, and we have plenty of things to talk about today.
Oh yeah, big day in sports.
Okay, even though this topic's been beaten up many times before, I would like to revisit the Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay because I kind of forgot just how much shit went wrong in the past year. That honestly, when you look at it, it's just like, wow, why is this guy still? Why are we even still here?
Yeah, it's worth a recap for sure.
Yeah. Wait, I still hear the music.
Yeah, me too.
There we go. So this dates all the way back. All right, so August 30th, 2018, Aaron Rodgers gets a record contract extension worth 134 million. Yada 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 yada.
Big
So
money.
3 years ago. So April 18th, 2019, Packers host Drew Lock, one of the top prospects in the draft. Rodgers, the same age that Favre was when Rodgers was drafted. Blah 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 blah. Coming off from new coach though, we went
Mm-hmm.
from Mike McCarthy to Shanahan or whatever. Anyways, we move on. We move on. So that's April. Like they host Drew Lock. He knows a QB's coming. Like
Mm-hmm.
probably a QB's coming. Uh, August 6th. So what, 4 or 5 months later, Packers have a joint practice with the Houston Texans. Right.
Mm. Oh
It had
my
been
God, I
it had
forgot
been
about this.
it had been 14 years since they had a joint practice. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Rodgers hates joint practices. He thinks they're super stupid. And he said a comment that like, I wouldn't mind not doing it for another 14 years. But then LaFleur is like, I absolutely 100% want to do this again. Blah blah blah. I was all for it. So just like a little differences.
Yeah.
Fast forward another 4 months. Uh, that is when the GM openly said that he's basically going to take a quarterback in the first round. He said, I'd be open to the fact of taking a quarterback first round, which when a GM says that, I'm pretty sure means, yeah, we're going to go quarterback in the first round. And then he said this, Aaron wants to win, and I think that's the most important thing to him. He knows we're trying to make the best decision for the football team going forward. So I don't worry about that. But I'm not with all players. You can't control that. Players get happy and sad about all kinds of things. So I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, that was about the vaguest and
That's
like, yeah, I'm up to something
that's a little
statement of all time.
just that last one. Players get happy and sad about all kinds of things, so I'm not too concerned about that. Players, yes, but not your franchise player who literally has done everything for you. Okay, whatever. Probably not the thing to be said.
No, not at all.
A couple months later, it's just like every couple months, it's something. It's a brand new thing. A couple months later, Vikings get the 22nd pick, take Justin Jefferson, uh, receiver that Rodgers had openly said that he would like to have on his team. Another one comes off the board at Brandon Ayuk for 49ers, and then instead of trading up to get a wide receiver like everyone else seemed to, they traded up from 30 to 26 to take Jordan Love. So
Remember that.
So you get two very good wide receivers, one in his own division, and then they trade up 4 spots, give up their fourth round to take what is supposed to be Aaron Rodgers now replacement. So that's April. May, 1 month later. Rodgers holds a 40-minute press conference where he says not thrilled by the pick, but I understand it.
Hmm.
Hopes to play out his contract and perhaps beyond, but admits I'm not just sure how that's all going to work together at this point. So basically, like, the first time that it was like, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, this was the first time that it was like, oh yeah, he might actually go.
Yeah, they finally an option besides he's back. He's back. Don't worry, he's back.
Yeah.
He maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. So another one. So this is now like, what are we on? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth thing that's happened in basically like a 2 year span. Like, that's caused a little problem. Rodgers goes on NFL radio, says he feels really good about his top 4 wide receivers: Devontae Adams, Allen Lazard, Marquez Valdez-Scantling,
There you go.
and Jake Kumarov, who Rodgers was talking about and raving that when they signed him back in 2017. He really liked Kumarov. One day later, Kumarov gets cut. Literally the next day, Kumarov gets cut after Rodgers was just talking about how much he liked that signing the year, or like back in 2017, and how he feels really good about his top 4.
Like, come on. Do you want
What,
the guy to leave?
How do you say the GM's name?
Gunter Gunst.
Gunst. Yeah, that guy cuts him. 4 days later, the Bills signed Kumarov to their practice squad. It took him 4 days to be signed. So clearly, it was like, yeah. So that's September. October, November 1st, just before the trade deadline. Remember, the Packers went out and tried to get Will Fuller. Or reportedly tried to get Will Fuller. Rodgers says, we've had many conversations about this type of thing over the years. I truly understand my role. I'm not going to stump for anybody. Last time I stumped for a player, he ended up going to Buffalo. So so that's what Rodgers says, like, literally 2 months later. Just kind of a shot. Just a little bit of a shot. So again, like, it's just all these little things that I forgot kept happening, where it's like they just keep like butting heads. And then that's not even it. We still have like 8 more instances. It's incredible how much shit has gone down in the past like 3 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
November, December, January now. Rodgers continues approach from the entire season, blah, 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 and he calls his future a beautiful mystery. He said it on some quote. He called his future a beautiful mystery. Just the little things. Like,
Aaron Rodgers is a beautiful mystery.
They take little shots at each other. Like,
I know,
Aaron will say something. Gutekunst will come back and cut someone. Then Rodgers will say something, and then Gutekunst will have some quote, be like, yeah, players get happy and sad, like, whatever.
No, they really are just fighting. It's really just back and forth.
They just go back and forth. 4 days after Rodgers calls his future beautiful mystery is the NFC Championship game where they lose to the Bucks, and then in the press conference, Rodgers was like, hey, a lot of guys' futures are uncertain, myself included, which is fair. Like, I don't think that's...
Yeah, sure.
But remember why they lost that game, because LaFleur wanted to kick a field goal on 4th and goal from the 8 when there was 2 minutes left. So, and Rodgers was openly not happy with that.
Neither was that one guy on Jeopardy. You see that?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, dude, it was like in the final Jeopardy. That's what it's called, right? And he wrote, and he didn't know the answer, and he goes, I wrote, why'd you kick that field goal? And Rodgers is just like,
that's so funny.
He's like, I've been wondering the same thing.
So, that's January 24th. A day later, Packers president Mark Murphy says, I'll say this, there's no way in heck that Aaron is not going to be on the Packers. He's the MVP of the league. He might have had his best year ever. He's our unquestioned leader, and we're not idiots. So that's the president of the Packers. Not Gutekunst. That's the president.
Gutekunst.
That's a day after the NFC Championship. The day after that is when he goes on Pat McAfee. And then he goes on and talks about, I don't think there's I wouldn't be back, but there's absolutely no absolutes in this business, blah, 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 blah.
He's out of there.
February 5 days. Okay, so now the dates are just getting closer and closer with everything that's going on. Because now we're into February, which just a couple months ago.
I can't believe we're still only at February with all of that.
With all of this shit, like what is that? 15 different instances where they've just taken like shots at each other or some shit.
Yeah.
February 1st, Gutekunst does a season wrap up news conference. Blah 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 blah. We're really excited for not only next year but the years to come. He's playing at such a high level, he always has, and blah blah. Blah special team. I didn't think wanted to finish, but I think everybody's purely motivated to get back. And I think, like I said, I don't know, he's our quarterback, he's our leader. So finally, the GM, for the first time, doesn't take a shot at him. He's finally like, okay, yeah, he's our leader, blah, 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 blah. It seems like the first time they're kind of on the same page.
But was it too little too late, Gunst?
And then a month later, I don't remember exactly what he said, but Gutekunst said the most vague thing ever when asked about Aaron Rodgers' contract. He was like, oh, yeah, we're looking at it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Or there's a lot of stuff going on with salary cap right now. Like, we're figuring it all out. There's a lot of players, like, it was like, whoa. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers here, not a lot of players.
They like threw him under the bus too, right? And they said like, yeah, he's not willing to take the signing bonus instead of the thing, whatever. He's just not cooperating. We'll find other. And it's like, oh, all right.
Oh.
So, dude's already underpaid, and now you want him to put in the signing bonus, like.
So 2 weeks later, so that is March 2nd, when that little debacle happens. So 2 weeks later, March 20th, Packers don't convert Rodgers' $6.8 million roster bonus into a signing bonus, which would have given them more than $4.5 in immediate cap relief. Instead, a source said the bonus was vested as scheduled. Rodgers has an automatic conversion clause in his contract, but it still would have needed Rodgers' signature to become official. I don't know what any of that means. But they weren't able to figure it out, so that happened. 10 days later, Murphy, the president, has a chance to diffuse things, but does not. Instead, he refuses to say why the contract restructure never happened.
And it's so fun. Dude, I forgot about all of this. And now it's so funny hearing them now saying like, well, we offered him the biggest contract in the league. We offered him to be the highest paid quarterback. And it's like, this does not feel like, that doesn't seem like it's what they're talking about. That doesn't seem like it's that kind of contract.
I guess I just didn't realize how much shit was going on. In what April 5th now, this is not that long ago. In what remains to be his last interview on the subject, Rodgers reiterates on the Pat McAfee show that's why I use the phrase beautiful mystery, blah, 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 don't know where you're going to go. He would like to be considered for a full-time position on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks later, the Packers offseason program begins with 4 weeks of virtual meetings and workouts, but Rodgers does not report for the voluntary session, which I don't think that's that big of a deal. I don't think he would.
I think a ton of players are not going to be reporting this season.
Yeah, especially after last season and everything. Yeah,
the Jeopardy thing though is so funny. The fact that now every single article that references it after they say it, then they go, Rodgers can play football and be a full-time Jeopardy host. Because they just know that everyone's gonna read. They're like, "What? He's quitting football to play Jeopardy." And it's like he can both host. He could do both.
He can do both.
He will. I hope so.
10 days later, Gutekunst says, we're not trading Rodgers. And he believes that things will be worked out. Okay. That's April 29th. April 29th, that's what's said. 2 days later, the president of the Packers comes out and says, this is an issue we've been working on for several months. It says the Packers are committed to Rodgers for 2021 and beyond. Later that day, LaFleur also says he wants Rodgers back. But when asked what happens if Rodgers doesn't want to come back to the Packers, the coach says, yeah, I know. I can't even take my brain to that spot right now. So LaFleur is like all in on Rodgers.
I can imagine that the head coach not wanting Rodgers.
Around Aaron Rodgers.
And they're clicking. Yeah.
I
think they have a good relationship. Yeah.
I think it was tough at first, but then they kind of got on the same page, and like I think both kind of gave in a little bit, where Rodgers probably wasn't trying to coach himself the whole time and actually listened.
Yeah, but
To
he still
LaFleur.
gets a little bit of freedom. And
Yeah,
probably some calls and whatnot.
and LaFleur probably came in being like, "Oh, you're not doing any of that. Like, you're not doing your own. Like, I'm the new coach," and they probably kind of came to a bit of an agreement on just like how things are gonna work.
Yeah.
A couple days later, Shanahan, LaFleur, the day, Scheffner. The exact truth is, I didn't want to wake up the next day on Friday and see Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, traded without doing any due diligence on it. So I just called Matt and asked him if there was anything to it, and Matt told me I'd be wasting my time if we had John Lynch call. So LaFleur calls Kyle Shanahan. Coach Kyle Shanahan, one of LaFleur's mentors, says that he called LaFleur the day after Scheffner's report. Oh, okay. So Shanahan calls LaFleur asking if there's any truth to Aaron Rodgers things.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt LaFleur says you'd be wasting your time if you called the GM.
Right.
Interesting.
That's been their official stance, I guess. It's kind of interesting because the Packers as an organization really haven't done anything except come out and say, we don't want to trade Aaron Rodgers. Stop saying we're going to trade Aaron Rodgers. We don't want to trade Aaron Rodgers. Everything else has been speculation. But it's just that weird little petty back and forth that's been going on for like...
It's the weirdest.
A year and a half.
And then, so 2 days after Matt LaFleur literally says, you'd be wasting your time. And now we're up to last week. This is now last week. Favre on a Wisconsin radio says there's basically no way Rodgers is coming back.
Thanks, Favre.
He says he doesn't see Rodgers coming back and just saying, all right, let's just bury the hatchet.
Thank you, Brett.
He added his guts tell him Rodgers would rather sit out than play for the Packers if he's not traded. That would be interesting if Aaron Rodgers stays on the Packers and does not play. Le'Veon Bell's it.
And then the boat comes in. And then the boat comes into dock. And then, I'm telling you. I guess we can use that as a little segue as well. But, man, poor guy. I'm glad he's on a roster.
And then, of course, 3 days ago, Devontae Adams just comes out and is
like,
if he goes, I don't know if I'm going to be staying here.
Well, yeah, dude, he probably doesn't want to have a down year with.
So that's literally probably 2 full years about every other month that something has gone on where either the GM's taking a shot at Rodgers or Rodgers taking a shot at the GM/team. Someone either between LaFleur,
Gunther
Gunst, and President Murphy, like one of them said something stupid every other month. Someone said something that didn't correlate like with the actual game plan every other month basically for the past 2 years.
That is correct. That is pretty bad.
That's a lot of dumb shit. Like, why would you do that? I'll move this over.
I don't know. And the weird thing is too, just like I can't imagine what the trade would be, especially now, because you have to run with Jordan Love. You spent a first-round draft pick on him, and you haven't started him yet. You have to run with Jordan Love.
Yeah, the GM will be fired if he doesn't start Jordan Love.
Plus, you have Bortles now, who can at least, like, for real, though, he can at least be a stopgap, like, kind of guy. Just to, like, for a game or two, you know?
He's not as bad as people make him out.
I mean, here's the last time he played a meaningful game was an AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. But like I can't imagine what the trade package would look like. It would have to be a team with an insane amount of picks because frankly, even a quarterback that's like
I mean, as soon as they get rid of Aaron Rodgers, they're immediately in a rebuild stage.
Yeah, but come on, they're not admitting that. Have you seen the way the way that they've been treating getting one wide receiver? If you expect them to be a team that also is like, and we're rebuilding, and they don't have to lose for 3 years first and then blow up the whole team.
No, absolutely. No, there's no way the Packers would admit they're rebuilding. But if Aaron Rodgers leaves, they're rebuilding.
Yeah, whether they like it or not.
That's a rebuild franchise.
But
especially because Devontae Adams is probably going right behind him.
they're in a rebuild stage, but they won't be rebuilding. They're just going to be struggling for a while, I think.
I think so too. Because if we've seen anything with the way they draft, they're not good at it.
Right.
Like, then they haven't been. It's just been Aaron Rodgers kind of leading the charge and like some good free agencies.
So no matter how many picks you get for Rodgers, and you're not getting a quarterback. I mean, you don't really want a quarterback. And then so you have a bunch of picks that you're gonna try to fill the gap, leaving Rodgers. But then Jordan Love will be probably okay. He'll probably be okay. And then
he just balls out. If Jordan Love's just nuts.
Just the same way Rodgers was.
Yeah, like it's
just part 3.
It's just part 3. We're just gonna watch it all over again.
Probably it is the Packers. Probably
they gotta be doing something right, like that. Like you've had basically 2 quarterbacks in the past 40 years.
Yeah, what if they were just completely right? And then what if Rodgers goes somewhere and then just retires next year and he's just terrible and then Jordan Love just balls out? That's the darkest timeline.
The key has always been Bakhtiari. It's been the whole time. He's actually been the one that they need. It's never been Rodgers.
This is Gunst. He's gonna put pads on. Get out there.
Man, I just don't understand what these GMs are doing with these franchise players. Like the Texans and just Deshaun Watson and not like letting him be in part of the talks. Like I get it, it's a business, that's not his job and everything. But man, you got a franchise player and you're not letting him make any type of decision or weigh in on any subject matter. Like I'm not saying that these guys should be able to pick their GMs and pick their coaches and shit like that. Like no player should have that like the down up kind of thing. Yeah. But you should, if you have a franchise quarterback or a franchise player, like ask his opinion.
Yeah,
at
totally.
the very least, like, hey, what do you think?
I just think
take it or not, whether you're literally just doing it to appease him. Just ask his opinion on something.
Yeah, because the asking itself is meaningful, and I just can't. Has there been a single situation where that hasn't worked? Like, do you ever hear like a quarterback that's like, "Man, coach is asking me too many questions."
Yeah, like, oh, I hate when they like inform me on what they're doing in the team, and I hate when they have to ask me. I just want to sit here and throw a football, like.
And plus, like when you think about it. Not like so obviously NFL head coaches are super smart and know a ton about football. But when you think about like most of them are former players and most of them were never as good as Aaron Rodgers was.
Mm-mm.
And you have to consider, okay, maybe he knows more about football. He's only one of the single greatest football players ever.
Yeah.
That's all. Maybe he knows more than Gutekunst about certain things.
Yeah, right.
It's possible.
I think there definitely is kind of like a power struggle kind of thing.
Yeah,
where
definitely.
I think if you allow a player, like if you ask for Aaron Rodgers' opinion and that doesn't turn out the way you want it to, like Rodgers doesn't sit there and is like, wow, thank you. Like, and instead kind of turns around and then expects that every single time there's ever anything to do with the team, he's going to be asked his opinion kind of thing. Because I could see that. Like, you give a little leeway. You're like, hey, ask blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden there's a power struggle where it's the player that's trying to decide things rather than the GM. Like, I can see that way of thinking, but at the same time, just like Deshaun Watson even said it himself when they did that whole GM thing. It was like, I don't even care if you crumpled up my Post-it note as soon as I gave it to you, like of the name that I wanted. But like, why wouldn't you ask me?
Right. Exactly. Here's the other thing is like it just always. I mean, you look at Tampa Bay doesn't win last year if Bruce Arians doesn't look at Tom Brady as basically an assistant coach with him, like, because they didn't start out hot, you know.
No,
they had a rough start to the season. They had to take, and obviously part of it was COVID with the no off season, all that. But I mean, you come in. And they have I think it was a week 13, a very late bye week as well. And, you know, you see the first half of the year is that whole Bruce Arians offense. Bombs, you know, big play. And it's not always what we've seen from Tom. And it did show that he had an arm and that he still could go, I think, more than he's shown in the last, like, 3-4 seasons. But it wasn't his thing. And as soon as they came off that bye was when it almost became like a hybrid of, like, what Tom used to do in New England, and then what Bruce Arians loves to do. And that was when they saw all their success. And that's when you saw Gronk get really involved. That's when you saw AB get really involved. That's when you saw playoff Lenny start balling.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
It's the collaboration because, again, Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time. So maybe he might know something about football.
Yeah. No, I would totally agree. And like I said earlier, I think Matt LaFleur and Rodgers ran into the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where one was trying to do his thing, the other was trying to do their thing. The first year was like, I don't know.
It's a shame because they worked it out. They were on a good level.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would like, honestly, it would be kind of cool if LaFleur followed Rodgers because I think that combination is really, really cool, which is not going to happen because LaFleur just got there. Like, he just got there.
And hopefully, and Rodgers is not going to be eyeing a team that doesn't have a head coach.
Exactly.
Well, unless he gets to Denver, who's here?
Yeah, Denver's coaching carousel thing has been so weird.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with. I feel like the coaching carousel in general is so hard to keep up with. I used to always know like who everyone's coach was. Like it was very obvious. And now it's like, man, I don't know who's where. People get fired so fucking quick now.
It's insane.
Fired and hired real quick.
Fired. You're hired. You're fired. Let's talk about Bortles a little bit, perhaps. We did touch on that.
I mean, we are in Packers. So.
Yeah, we're in Packers world. Talking the second best Packers quarterback on the roster, probably the first best by the time the season starts.
Yep.
Blake Bortles finally got signed ever since his struggles last year on and off the Broncos, on and off the Rams, various COVID scare type things. Almost got into a Broncos game last season. Couldn't pass the COVID test in time, so they had to start a wide receiver from the practice squad. Remember that? What a fun week. But now he's finally...
That was ridiculous.
That was insane.
That was so absurd. I couldn't believe that was actually real life. Also, I couldn't believe that spread for that game was like 13.5. And I remember being at my brother's house and I was like, this is a joke, right? Like, they are literally starting a high school quarterback.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, well, yeah, but he's pretty talented and like blah, blah, blah. And they've got like, I'm like, no, you don't understand. Cameron Jordan is sitting on the other side of that line. And this dude played high school quarterback. Like, not even college, high school.
He's going to get rocked.
Like, that game was the worst thing ever to watch. Oh, it was so bad. Anyways, keep going.
So, yeah, they just agreed. 1 year deal. Probably, I think, just vet min. Nothing too crazy, but
it's an interesting move in light of recent events.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it isn't that meaningful. They only had 2 quarterbacks. So it's not like, and they had a competition off their practice squad, and they went with Bortles. Just because I think he's
Bortles,
pretty,
I guess. He has the
boat.
experience.
He used the boat.
Can probably help Jordan Love a little bit too.
Yeah.
When Rodgers is gone.
He was the 3rd overall pick in the 2014 draft, which I kind of forgot he was that high of a pick.
That's crazy. Where'd he come from?
Dang. That's a good question. Good old Bortles.
I feel like it's
UCF.
Oh, UCF. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's right. He was, yeah. Because no one had really, like, heard of UCF at the time. Because UCF was just starting to get, like, noticed back then.
Yeah.
2014. Interesting. So, yeah. I think it's a good move. I think it's an interesting move in light of, obviously, recent events with Aaron Rodgers and stuff. But we'll see how that goes. I hope he gets a couple games. It'd be fun to watch him again.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a great player.
Did you hear about the whole Teddy Bridgewater and like criticizing how the Panthers practiced last year?
No.
Yeah.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves is an outspoken man.
Since when?
I don't know. He didn't like the practice schedule. He said they're organized, but he didn't like the schedule, and he said something about like Matt Rule needs to figure out his timing. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but kind of interesting when like I don't expect Teddy Bridgewater to be saying those kind of things.
No,
that does not strike me as the kind of like person that would go out and say something like that. So clearly there
The
probably
way
is.
he said it makes me think that it's a lot worse than he's saying it is. Because I feel like
Yeah,
if he
oh,
was
it's not
making a
that bad,
big,
blah blah
yeah,
blah. Like, it's just
that makes you
I
think
don't
like
like it.
that makes you think it's actually bad. Because I feel like if
Yeah.
he was like, it's terrible, they're the worst, they're terrible, it would just seem like he's salty that he got sent to
Yeah.
Denver. But I don't know, something to look out for. They've had pretty bad injuries lately. Maybe that.
I mean, and Matt Rule is new a new NFL coach.
That's
Like,
true. They
it's different.
always
They're
trying
always
to
trying
get
to
like
do
that
their own
respect.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, but it's not college anymore. You
Not
can't.
college anymore, man. You can't be doing that stuff. That's interesting.
And
Yeah,
Teddy's
maybe
probably
Matt.
just not trying to snap his leg in half again. And Matt Rule's probably out here having him push the sled
Oklahoma
across.
drills,
Yeah, he's pushing the sled 100 yards down the field.
Teddy Two Gloves lines up for Oklahoma drills Monday through Friday. Yeah.
So
Teddy Two Gloves is just trying not to tear an ACL. Leave him alone, Matt Rule.
yeah.
Come on.
Hey, I kind of hope Denver doesn't get Rodgers so we can see Ted go. He's pretty solid, man.
I've been wrong about Teddy for a long time. I mean, I wasn't when he was playing for my team because he was god awful. And whatever anyone tells you about making a Pro Bowl when you throw like 14 touchdowns and 14 interceptions, it's not a good season.
No, that's not great.
But yeah, I totally thought when his ACL went out because he almost lost his leg because it was so bad, missed basically 2 years. I thought he would never basically play another snap again. And when he took that first snap for the Saints and threw a pick with it, I was like, yep, this is what's going to happen. Like, this is Teddy's legacy.
Classic Ted. There you go.
But no, he has really surprised me. I did not think he would do the things he did in Carolina. I didn't think he
I
didn't think he'd do the things he did in New Orleans. He has proved me wrong a little bit. I still don't think he's very good. But
I think he is like he's like to me what Tyrod Taylor always was, just like the
Just a
most
little more
average
accurate.
guy.
just a little more accurate than Tyrod. But yeah,
He's not going
I
to win
agree.
you a game. He's not going to lose you a game. He's just
Yeah.
going to play in it. He will
See, that's literally Case Keenum when he played for the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's why I loved that dude. Because their
except for
defense
that, except for the one season, dude. That one season, he was kind of just like, I don't know. Sometimes, I swear, sometimes he would just be scrambling, moving, and then just flick a ball, and it would just be a perfect dime
Dude,
piece out of the sky.
he did
Sometimes
it
he was
all the time.
insane. Oh man, I really liked him. I liked him in Washington too. He was not that bad. And then now where is he?
I don't know. I feel bad for him, honestly, because he did not. You don't go to an NFC championship as the third string quarterback and then like not get your right to like play at least the first couple games of next year.
Oh, he's on the Browns.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's Baker's backup. That's a
Yeah.
good spot for him. I hope he
That is a
wins
good
ring
spot
there.
for him.
I hope he wins a ring there. But no, like imagine bringing your team all the way to the NFC Championship when you were the third string quarterback at the beginning of the year. He was third. And then he goes out, balls out all season long, barely turns the ball over.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have an offensive line in the NFC Championship.
Absolutely not.
Championship. Gets absolutely destroyed all game long.
Bodied.
The 2 picks that he throws, his arm gets hit. They go to picks. They lose the game. And within like a day later, Mike Zimmer's like, yeah, he's not going to be here next year. Like, what? Also, who gave Mike Zimmer fucking owning rights on where quarterbacks go and everything like that? Why was Mike Zimmer the person behind that? I'm ranting now, but that was a stupid move. I don't know why you wouldn't sign him for just a little bit less. Keep him going because he doesn't turn over the ball.
I don't know. I wish we signed him. I wish we had him right now.
I don't know how you can like blame or just say that Case Keenum's the reason that we didn't win that game, because that's basically what he did. We brought back the whole team except shipped out Case Keenum. Like, you think with Kirk Cousins we would have won that game? No, we didn't have offensive line. Come on.
Case plays better in those conditions. Case will do better in that than Kirk.
Yeah, because he doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, and he can move, and he not even like quickness or speed, just like he's smart. Because like you can just step out of pressure a lot of the time, and he always had that down.
Mm-hmm.
It's always impressed, just like footwork, just basic stuff in the pocket. And I was just looking. He's also this Case Keenum and Tim Tebow are the same age, Every time I see someone's age, I now compare them to Tim Tebow, and then imagine 9 years of not playing in the NFL in between, and then it confuses me.
Yeah. I was listening to ESPN yesterday, which I shouldn't because I ESPN. But I was listening to someone, and they were just like, "What are we doing?" Like NFL, what? Like Urban Meyer, what are we doing here? Like, how in the hell? And he's like, and then he ends it with, by the way, he doesn't look like he's 18. He doesn't. He looks like he's 33.
I don't think it's that bad, though. I mean, the dude's probably fresh. Hasn't played.
Like I said yesterday, I'm here for it. I'm willing to see. I hope he goes out and gets 8 touchdowns and 600 receiving yards and ends up being able to block mildly. Like, it would be cool. It'd be really cool to see. But at the same time, there's no way in fucking hell it happens. No way.
I mean, the dude's jacked, though.
Yeah, he's jacked. So is everyone else in the NFL. So is everyone else in collegiate football. Everyone's jacked. He does have God on his side, though.
Not everyone's that handsome, though.
True. He does have the looks. Look good, play good, honestly.
And play good, feel good. Everyone's like, you want to be a model? And he's like, no, I want to be a tight end. And that's grit. That's the kind of guy you want in Jacksonville.
They said, do you want to be a model? And he said, no, I want to be a minor league baseball player. And then he said he wanted to be a tight end.
And they came back and said, hey, that's not working out. Model? I'm out here catching passes and pancaking Khalil Mack.
This man has the worst ADHD ever. He just can't figure out what sport he wants to do or what he wants to do next.
Now, he just is going to do everything he wants to do.
He wanted to be an analyst. He wanted to be a minor league baseball player. He wanted to be a model. He
do you think he'll still?
He wants to be a quarterback.
Think he'll still do? What's he on? He was on like SEC Network or whatever. You think he'll still call those games?
He'll probably call Florida games just because they love him.
Yeah, and he's down there still.
Yeah. All right, let's take it to a quick 2-3 minute break, and when we come back, we will be talking bets for the day, play of the day. I'm locked and loaded.
And some fun little extras. We'll be right back. And we're back.
And
We had Buff Tim Tebow as a little guest there real quick. But you're telling me
I just
I'm sorry. You're telling me you don't want that dude
Wait,
knocking down linebackers.
He is ripped. I will say that. He is a big dude.
He's big. He's looking big. He's looking swole. He's looking
Yeah,
ready to play.
he's a big dude. He looks like a tight end.
He's ready to go.
But he also hasn't played football in 9 years. So he's playing baseball. So.
Gives him time to unlearn the position. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. No muscle memory. We don't want any muscle memory in this sport. No.
Bro, a quarterback has to catch the ball on every play.
Oh, yeah. All right. Moving on to bets today, because I am done with that conversation. What are we on? We're the last 2 games for NBA before playoffs. Everyone's on their last 2 games. Last game.
We're really there already?
We're really there already. I feel like the season's gone by quick. I mean, it has because it's shortened.
It is shorter, yeah, but it has gone by quick.
Very quick.
I like this length though. It feels a lot more like
it feels less
contained. Makes sense.
Yeah, less load management. More.
Yeah, just like here's the season.
Yeah.
Starting and ending there. Like you can remember the whole season. Sometimes I feel like NBA, like by the time you get to the end of the season, every team is different. Every like nothing is even the same as when it started.
And I like the shortened season because honestly, it makes NBA teams try harder because you have not as many games to fuck around with.
Right.
Like I feel like there's so many games in the regular NBA season where there's just games where teams are like, yeah, we're just taking this game off completely. Like, fine, then don't have the game. Yeah, no one wants to watch subpar performance.
So we have 4 more days of basketball. Most teams have 2 or 3 games left on their schedule.
Okay. Tight stuff too. Like we are.
Yeah, very interesting. Like, we'll get more into that, but the playoff the play-ins, if not actually good for the sport, or at least good for sports talking.
Yep. Because they have made the NBA a little more entertaining than it probably would have been this year at this time. All right, let's talk some NBA bets. NBA bets. We have the Trailblazers getting plus 4.5 against the Suns. Suns are at home. It's a 10 o'clock game tonight. The Suns are getting disrespected by the public, though.
Really? That makes me like them even more. I was about to say.
They're getting 30. You are high on the Suns, too. The Suns are getting 32% of bets and 12% of money.
Just don't mess with Chris Paul.
Portland played last night, too.
Don't mess with Chris Paul. He's not going to let them lose this by more than 4.5 points. Or not even lose. They're going to dominate. Chris Paul is going to just be dishing, floor general. Don't even worry about it.
I mean, Portland is hot right now. Portland's hot. Like,
they are hot.
But Portland just played last night in Utah against Utah, which is a tough team.
That is a tough team. I mean, Rudy's there.
They just played last night. They beat them, and now they play tonight in Phoenix on a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's insane.
And they're only getting 4.5? Come on, man. And the public's disrespecting them? Come on, man.
Sounds like
the public is a little too hot on the Trailblazers right now. And kind of sleeping on the Suns a little. You know, I did not check for injuries. Let me check that. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Oh, there's not. And injuries for Trailblazers.
What is the is there an over-under for that? Yeah, is that out?
There is an over.
Because it's going to be a high-scoring game.
You think so? It's 234.
Maybe not
so
that.
117 to 117.
I mean, that's a high one to take. Just you never know. But
yeah,
if it was like maybe 220s, maybe
high 220s,
lower 220s. That's very high though. But yeah, this is gonna be
a little ways up.
This is going to be a shooting clinic.
I think the Suns at -4.5 is a pretty good steal on the Trailblazers being on a back-to-back.
I agree.
You know, they had to play hard as shit last night to play the Utah Jazz. Like, that
The
was not a
only thing is
slouch of a game.
they are playing for their lives right now.
True.
Not their lives, but
Yeah. And the
specific parts of the playoffs.
Suns are kind of not, but I still think they want to get a game on the trail. Like,
Actually, wait. The Trailblazers are pretty comfortable not in this mess anymore.
they have to like win one more, right? They
Yeah.
should win one.
So they have one game up on the Lakers, but they also have the tiebreaker, and they're tied with the Mavs, have the tiebreaker as well. So as long as the Mavericks and the Lakers don't get ahead of them, they'll be the 5 or 6 easy. But then if the Mavericks and the Lakers have better standings, then they might be in the play-in. So not as urgent as say for like the
Not as
Warriors,
urgent, yeah.
but
They would like to win for sure, but
yeah, they would definitely be nice.
It's not like a maker.
And they can't get the 4. The 4 is not out of reach. So
Okay, so they're just trying to stay out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I still like the Suns in that spot tonight.
Me too.
10 o'clock game. Yeah. Next game, Spurs Knicks. The Knicks are 5.5-point favorites right now at home. I really don't want to bet against the Knicks.
No, it's hard to.
They're getting 77% of tickets, 79% of money, so the public is definitely on them. Sharps are on Spurs.
I would not want to take the Spurs right now.
They just played Brooklyn last night.
Yeah, no, I just would not. I would not. Yeah, I would not want to take them. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They're even though they're in the playoff race, the Kings aren't catching them, and they're not catching Memphis. So there's not that urgency. I don't know. I don't see. I would maybe stay away from that one or go Knicks. I don't think I would go with the Spurs on it though.
No, I'm definitely not going Spurs. If anything, I'd be taking the Knicks. Derrick Rose is questionable. That might have something to do with it. Because I do think he's a big piece of their puzzle.
Yeah.
I think he adds a lot. Whether it's shown on the stat sheet, I think he adds a lot right now.
Not totally. I agree.
It's questionable. Emmanuel quickly is out.
That's big.
Alec Burks, questionable. So yeah, they got some injuries. It might be a game just worth holding on to, looking for it later.
Just watching that line.
Yeah. Bucks Pacers. The Bucks are only getting 8. That is a lot of points, but at the same time, Pacers are pretty bad right now.
Yeah, the Pacers are bad.
Sixers.
Yeah,
Except when they do that stuff.
Man, it's the NBA. Everybody wins some games. But yeah, I don't know about the Bucks right now. They're playing well. 7-3 the last 10. They're sitting nice at the 3 seed. Doubt they'll catch the Nets, but the Hawks are absolutely not catching them. They might not be playing too hard. They watch for guys coming out because they are probably one of the most set teams out of all the set teams. They're actually the first team in the East to clinch their division. Good for them.
Good for them.
Already clinched a playoff position out of the play-ins as well. So
can they not move either? Can they go up or down?
They're 2 games back from the Nets, and I believe the Nets would hold the tiebreaker over them anyway. No, they would have the tiebreaker for the Nets, but they're 2 games back, and they have a 5-game lead on the Hawks.
Okay. But listen to this for the Indiana Pacers. Jeremy Lamb will not play against the Bucks. Edmund Sumner has been ruled out. Malcolm Brogdon, hamstring has been ruled out for Thursday's game against the Bucks. Miles Turner,
him too,
is out Monday against
goodness.
the Cavs. And then TJ Warren's obviously out for this season. Yeah, I think it depends on Miles Turner, what I do there. I might take the Bucks at 8 just because I think they'll absolutely destroy the Pacers.
Just watch if we get some really odd pregame little. Does your elbow hurt?
Shoulder, yeah.
Or are you just in shoot around like dang?
Giannis is gonna go like this and be like, ooh. He did that earlier this year too.
My scoliosis is acting up,
coach. Yeah, God.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully he doesn't get in.
We're mad.
I hate the NBA. The Hawks are getting 13.5 against the Magic. Yeah.
Is that worth just trying to?
No, it's not worth doing anything on, but it is worth noting that the Magic are only getting 7% of money on the spread.
On
Hawks are
what
getting
spread?
90, the spread 13 and a half. Hawks are getting 93% of the money. So we are just going to stay away from that game.
I'm hammering that one.
I am staying the hell away from that game. That looks like death in
I'm just saying
form.
That's a big spread for the Hawks.
That's a big spread, especially for 93% of money to be all stacked up on it too. Holy shit. What are we doing with these double-digit spreads and just stacking on one side? So this is the one game that I'm really intrigued with, and I think I have it read really well. Sixers Heat.
Like a book?
Like a book. In Miami.
I feel like I'm not going to like this.
No, I think you are, because I think the Sixers should fucking annihilate them.
What's the injury report looking like?
It's all up to Embiid, honestly. Butler is day-to-day. He's questionable. But this line opened at Sixers -1.5 and is now at +1. So that's either Embiid probably won't play or Jimmy is playing.
Okay, so it looks like as well as Embiid, Thibault is questionable with a hand injury.
Korkmaz is out.
Korkmaz is out, and then Shake is probable, which is good to have.
Yeah.
Because it's rough with when Matisse, Shake, and Furkan, all three shooting guards, are all out. That would be brutal just for our rotation. But
yeah, that's true.
I think we're especially with actual shooters and guards on that team.
I really hope Embiid doesn't wait till the last second. He's got that illness thing, and I don't know what that is.
Or yeah, has there been any kind of information about that?
Zero information as always. Because the NBA hates everyone. I don't know. Like, I hope he plays, and if he does, I'm taking the Sixers because with Victor Oladipo having season-ending surgery.
That's a shame, by the way. I really like him.
Yeah, no, I don't like when players have season, especially like teams in contention too. That's shitty. Like the Jaylen Browns and the Victor Oladipos and that kind of stuff. It's not fun. Not a fun part of the game. Also, just a little bit ago, the Sixers were getting 60% on tickets and money, and now it has flipped where the Heat are now getting 60% of tickets and money. That's flipped literally while we've been on here.
Wow.
I don't know how, but that's a game to watch for too, because I think if Joel Embiid doesn't play, I'd probably stay away, even though the Sixers I still think wins. But yeah, if Embiid plays, that's and at a pick 'em. Are you kidding? I'm taking Sixers all day long. They're a better team than Heat. Next game,
I agree.
Kings and Grizzlies. Grizzlies are getting 7.5 on the Kings and getting 98% of the money. That is officially
really
the most I've seen of the day on any team.
Okay. I would love the Kings there, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Kings are 7-3 in their last 10. They're cruising, and they are not out of the playoffs. They are not out yet. The Spurs have not clinched that 10th spot. They're 2 games back from the Spurs, and the Spurs are spiraling. Spurs are 3-7 in their last 10.
And the Spurs had to play, yeah.
And the Kings are 7.
And now,
and the Kings are coming together right now.
Interesting. That's an interesting spot. And now the Spurs have got
and Memphis is set in that 9. They're either getting the 9 or the 8. So really, it just comes down to which playing game they're going to be in. And they've already clinched. They've clinched the play-in position already.
I think we're going to take the Kings tonight then.
I like the Kings a lot here, barring injury of some sort that I'm not aware of.
Yeah. I'm looking at. Okay, De'Aaron Fox is out. Harrison Barnes is out. Robert Woodard. Oh, your camera.
Oh gosh.
Robert Woodard is out. Buddy Hield is probable though. And then let's look at Memphis. Who's out for them? Memphis. Yeah, Minnesota Timberwolves. Ooh, Valanciunas is questionable. That'd be a big deal if Valanciunas Missed that game. Sean McDermott, Grayson Allen, both out. That's definitely worth looking or watching what Valanciunas is doing because he's been averaging basically double doubles for that team and damn near triple doubles, honestly. I think it's worth watching that because the Kings are hurt. They have been playing good even without their players, but I don't know if it's 7.5 is a lot though. 8, yeah. I think honestly it's worth taking because of that percentage is so ridiculous. 98% on one team? No, we're not. We don't bet on teams that have 98%. Moving on, we have Nuggets and Timberwolves. Timberwolves are at home. Nuggets are only getting 4.5 against the Timberwolves. Jokic is going to eat Cat alive. Alive. It's going to be bad. I don't think there's any way that the Timberwolves keep it within 4.5 against the Nuggets. I could be wrong, but this just seems like a game that the Timberwolves are just too far outmatched for. That does not seem like a winnable game at all. What am I missing here? Will Barton. Okay. I'm on the T-Wolves and Nuggets. The Nuggets are only getting 4.5
against the
Timberwolves. The Timberwolves.
That's
Monte Morris is out, which isn't that big of a deal. Will Barton is out, not that big of a deal. PJ Dozier's out. That's not that big of a deal.
But like Jokic isn't out. Like
no, Jokic is there. Jokic is fine.
Why? What's the money looking like? What are the something's got to be weird, right?
80% of tickets on Nuggets, so they're getting stacked. But only 62% of the money. So actually getting more tickets than they are money, which means that people who are betting on Timberwolves are betting more money on them. Interesting. I don't see that as a spot that the Timberwolves can win.
I am surprised by that.
5 points? We think that the Timberwolves are going to stay within 5 to the Nuggets? Am I missing something?
I mean, wait. Here's something interesting. The Hawks playing Magic, right? Hawks have 14.5 on the Magic.
Yeah, 13.5.
13.5. That is the 4 seed against the 14th. This is the 4 seed against the 13th, and there's a 9-point difference in the spread. It's very weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because I would even say the Nuggets are a better team than the Hawks, and
I'm just looking at like stupid
what
trends
the heck?
just to see if I'm missing something. The only trends I can find: Nuggets are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 after scoring 100 points or more in the previous game. Okay. Nuggets are 0-4 in their last 4 games as a road favorite.
That's interesting.
0-4 or 0-4 against the spread. Sorry. Timberwolves are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 Thursday games. Big stuff. Big stuff. Thursdays.
They love a good Thursday, huh?
To be fair, I'm looking at the Nuggets right now, like their past schedule, and it's not impressive.
Yeah.
Like they've lost 3 against the spreads in a row. They only beat Charlotte by 5. I think the Timberwolves are I don't know. I don't think we match up better than Charlotte does. Maybe a little bit. They lost by 6 to Brooklyn. They were only supposed to lose by 4. They lost to 7 to Utah. At Utah. They lost by 7. They were only supposed to lose by 4.5, but then they beat the Knicks at home.
Right.
The Nuggets are definitely not that impressive right now. But man, like the T-Wolves played Miami at Miami and lost by 9. And I think the Nuggets are probably like more of a problem for us than Miami is with Jokic.
Yeah.
I would agree. Jokic will kill us.
Yeah, I really don't see how that line is possible.
I'm going to hope that the tickets go down on the Nuggets side, because if it does, I'm going to take the Nuggets.
I can't imagine the tickets going down though. I don't know who
But that's the problem. That's what scares me. Is like if no one can see the problem and everyone just
Then
stacks
that's
on one
oh
side,
yeah.
then that's what Vegas is doing.
Vegas never feels generous. They're never
No.
like, here's an easy one for you. There has to be
here's a
something.
lob. Yeah.
If anything, the easier it looks, the more they want you to put money on it so they can win it. Like,
Yeah, and that's why you always look for tickets and money, because I'm like, if it's stacked, like this freaking Grizzlies line, getting 98% money, I'm like, okay, there's a problem there. If everyone thinks it's gonna happen, it's not going to happen. Next game, Clippers Hornets.
Clippers Hornets.
Clippers are getting -8. Wait, is that the actual line? -8.5. Hornets are at home. I feel like that's just a game I don't want to bet on at all. It's like 50% tickets on both sides, 50% money.
Yeah.
8's a lot.
8 is a lot.
Hornets hurt.
A little bit. They've been hurt for a long,
Miles
long
Bridges,
time now.
Gordon Hayward, Cody and Caleb. It's really not. Like, they're not really not that banged up. It could
Not
be a lot
terribly,
worse.
but
Are the Clippers? Yeah. Is anyone missing it for the Clippers right now?
No, I mean
Ibaka,
they're pretty healthy though.
Yeah, and then So yeah, that's not a game I want to touch really. Because Hornets are still playing for their lives, right? Close.
Not for their lives, but I believe for the I think play-in at least.
Okay. No, that's not a spread I want to touch. That's a scary one.
Yeah, Hornets are in the 8 right now. They're 2 games back from the Celtics in 7. They also hold the tiebreaker over the Celtics, though. But more interesting is the Pacers are tied with them record-wise, just behind them in the tiebreaker at the 9 seed. So if they want to stay out of that extra play-in game, they will have to win this one, so or hope the Pacers lose.
Yeah. Bulls hosting Raptors, getting 10. And getting tickets and money too. 67% tickets, 71% of money. 10's a lot for a team that's not even in playoff contention.
Yeah, for 2 teams that aren't in playoff contention.
Yeah, again, that's just not something I feel like. I mean, the Bulls are a pretty good team right now. Like, I'll give them that.
Yeah.
And I think the Raptors are
better than they were before, but like.
And I think the Raptors are, they have everyone out. So here, these are the people that are not playing in this game.
Oh boy.
Rodney Hood, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, OJ Anunoby, Chris Boucher, Aaron Baines, and Paul Watson. Some of those are bigger than others, but Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, and Pascal Siakam, and OJ Anunoby, and Rodney Hood. Yeah. I would see why the Bulls are getting 10 all of a sudden. Honestly, that should be an absolute blowout. It should not be close at all.
However,
but there's getting stacked on that side, so I really don't want to touch a double-digit spread when one team's getting stacked on money.
And it's the Bulls, man.
And it's the Bulls. We're still talking about the Bulls here. It's not a complete team in any way, shape, or form. I think that's about it for NBA. I don't really want to touch under-overs. That's not true. I'm looking at the under in the next game. I kind of like that. 216.5 against the Spurs. Both teams are not great defensively. Both teams are decently defensively. Honestly, might go the under in the Sixers game too. 218.5 against the Heat. Both teams have been playing really well defensively. And if Embiid's gone,
I would say minus the Pacers game, the Sixers have been dropping 118, 109, 135, 106, 113, 126, 127, 121, 194, 117. So
they're pretty,
They're scoring.
Yeah.
They're scoring.
The Heat do have a good defense.
They really do. And I think if Embiid is out, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a bit of a slower paced kind of. So keep an eye on that. That'll have a lot to do with
I see this being like
injuries.
a slow paced, like very defensive heavy. Like it's gonna be scrambly, very
Yeah.
very very
Like eggs, boy.
like eggs.
Scrambly.
Also, the under in the Grizzlies Kings game is getting 98%. So people are very confident in that Grizzlies game. People really think they have that one figured out. They think the Grizzlies are going to cover
So fade
and it's
that.
going to go under. So if I'm a betting man tonight, I am taking the Kings to cover and the over.
I actually I think I would have taken that. Does that make me dumb or smart?
I don't know. Ooh, here we go. I have a 99%er. The over in the Magic Hawks game, the over in the Magic Hawks game is getting 82% of tickets and 99% of money.
Oh wow.
I don't like touching NBA under overs unless I'm very confident in them. But as I said, as a betting man, I'd be taking the under tonight.
I'm taking the Kings right now. I'm taking the Kings.
Are you taking the Kings right now?
I'm taking the
as you're
Kings
sitting
right
here?
now. Steal my DraftKings account. Please don't. It's
Please
not
don't.
worth it.
Yeah. This is I think that's it for the NBA. NHL, we have 3 games tonight. 3 games.
That's not a lot.
Also, I called the Blues money line last night in VIP for plus 123. They
Woo!
slaughtered the Wild,
See ya.
killed it, even
More
bet
like the
against
mild.
my own freaking team and
You
won.
love doing that.
I'm really good at betting on the Wild. I took Twitter free plays yesterday, about 5 of them.
Ooh.
Remember how I said I don't bet on Twins games because I'm like 1-7 on the year? I am now 1-8. Twins money line yesterday, and they lost 13-8 to the White Sox.
Fade Minnesota boy. Only when he's talking about the Twins.
It makes me so angry that no matter, and I keep trying too, because I keep just trying to like prove it wrong that I can do it, and I just can't.
But you're saying that you can get 5 free plays sometimes just by following the Twitter account at HeyFellas Bets.
And you're telling me that 4 of them hit?
Ooh.
2 of them at plus money?
Ooh. No extra charge.
No
Come
extra
on.
charge.
Check it out. Get involved. Get
Not
on.
only
there.
not only are we free on Twitter, VIP, which has been absolute money, is under $1 a day. What?
Crazy.
For a month package? You don't even have to spend $1 a day. Come on, get with it.
You'll make more than $1 a day. I'll tell you that.
If you bet $2 units last month, you would have paid off the fee just by betting what we bet. $2. $2 on every bet.
You know we had to plug it real quick. We had to plug it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We had to plug VIP. We had to. It's been too good not to. Come on.
It's true.
It's baller. It's just too good.
Don't get mad. Get paid. Come on.
I think my play of the day is going to be one of the 3 hockey games tonight. And I think I know which one it is because I am seeing money I like. I think I know what I'm going to do.
What's that?
I'm going to fade the Blues in Wild game. I got the Blues yesterday at plus money. It was a good pick. This is a back-to-back tonight. Back-to-back on the same teams. We don't touch those games. We have no idea what's going to happen. And that's the same reason we are not touching the Kings and Avalanche game either, because the Avalanche are getting minus over 400. And I took them minus 1.5 yesterday for minus 150. That was perfect. They won 6-0. But Grubauer is probably not starting tonight because he started last night. And without that, no. Wait. Oh, shit. Is Sierra still there?
Yeah.
Okay, can she run and grab a charger, my laptop charger that's in my speaker right now?
We'll be right back. Okay, we're back.
And we're back. Sorry about that. Also,
All fixed. All better.
fixed. I looked at my laptop charger and I saw 2%. And I was like, this shit's going down quick. Anyways, yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, Avalanche started Grubauer, so they're probably not starting him tonight. And if the Avalanche are not starting that goalie, do not bet on them. That is the best goalie in the NHL right now. If he's not playing, don't bet him. But play of the day will most likely be the Flames in regulation.
Ooh, Calgary.
This is a really good spot for them right now. As if you've listened before, the Canucks, after that month-long COVID break, that is a really, really hard thing to recover from. And the Canucks weren't good in the first place. Flames are at home tonight. They've played pretty well at home. They're getting minus 177, so I'd take it in regulation, which probably is going to bump it up to about minus 115-ish. But what I really like about this is the Flames are favored, but only getting 48% of tickets and 7% of money. The Canucks as away dogs, the Canucks against the better Flames are getting 93%. 93.
We're having a little connectivity issue on your face there.
Yeah.
Well, what is he doing? Hold on, we'll bring in Tim.
Net connection's unstable.
Yeah, that seems like a real problem for you there. Yeah.
Connection very unstable. Hang on. Sit in my ear, Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'm just gonna keep talking because my shit is a little. Can you hear me? I'm gonna go with a yes.
For the most part. Sometimes I can't. Like right now, I can if you are talking. Just.
Who keeps calling? Stop calling me. If someone's watching this that keeps calling me, don't call me.
Hey, come on down. Come on down.
My connection's back.
We'll go like this.
Yeah, screw it.
Hold on
right there.
For a brief moment while we reconfigure the studio. The internet has decided to give up with life, so we're doing it old school. We don't need the internet. We have each other. Hold on. There's some improv here.
So as I was saying, the Calgary's in a great spot tonight, getting only 7% of the money. Oh, this is a nice setup. I like yours. Only getting 7% of the money. The Canucks are not a good team. I don't have the stats currently up in front of me, but I know that the Canucks are not a good team. They're only winning random kind of games that they really have at home, and they're only winning games where other teams are in bad spots, and that's not Calgary tonight. Calgary's at home, has been rested, probably starting their starting goalie. Haven't looked at starting goalies tonight. It's just a good spot for Calgary. I like that in regulation. I'm going to guess about minus 110. I think it's good. I like that one. I don't have baseball in front of me. Yeah. I feel like I'm about to spit some bars right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Washington, Philadelphia. I'm fading that game because your boy was on the wrong side of it yesterday.
Stay away.
MLB loss.
Stay away.
I hate losing MLB because I only bet on dogs, and when I lose a dog, I get angry. I get I get mean. Washington, Philadelphia, stay away from that game. St. Louis, Milwaukee, stay away from that game. San Francisco and Pittsburgh.
Are you taking the Pirates as a dog again?
No, I'm not. However, I think that San Francisco should be getting a lot more than minus 155 right now. The Giants are first in their division, in front of the Dodgers. They're playing way better than they should be right now, and a lot of MLB people that are like experts and stuff are saying that they're gonna regress. But honestly, until they do, I'm with them. We bet them on the hot hand, so maybe. I mean, the money line at minus 155 isn't bad. Maybe take a minus 1.5 if you want to get a little plus money in there. That's probably a good spot for them. Cincinnati and Colorado, I'm trying to stay away from the Reds as much as possible because they're one of the most inconsistent teams in baseball right now. They'll win 3 in a row by 8-0, 8-0, 8-0, and then come out the next 3 and lose 15-1, 15-1, 16-15. Miami, Arizona. I have been sleeping on the Marlins all year, and I'm going to continue to because I'm not just going to hop on a bandwagon halfway through.
You can't just wake up like that.
Yeah, you can't just all of a sudden want to do it because it doesn't work like that. Minnesota and Chicago White Sox, not touching it because I can't bet on Twins games. Yesterday made either 1-7 or 1-8 on the year for betting on Twins games.
Which would be impressive if you just did the
Which would be
opposite.
super impressive because anytime I bet on anything Twins game, everyone should be taking the exact opposite of whatever I bet. Honestly, I should just start putting my leans out there for every Minnesota game so that people can just bet the opposite. Because I am the worst person at reading that team. So bad. Kansas City and Detroit. Kansas City is getting the plus money today, which is interesting because Detroit's gotten the past 2 games and won both games. Both games I have bet on their side.
Hey.
I love Detroit dogs, especially against a terrible, terrible Royals team that everyone thinks is good. Oakland and Boston. Boston is the favorites by not much. I got Oakland yesterday. The thing we need to understand about Boston is they're setting these lines based off their starting pitchers. Vegas really likes to. They know that most people betting on baseball are looking at starting pitchers, so they normally gas up one side or the other based off of that.
Right.
And Boston has one of the worst bullpens in all of baseball. So they have really good starters and not good bullpen. And it's causing them to get way better odds than they should, and people are betting on Boston. And they win. They're up 1-0, 2-0, and then as soon as we get into that bullpen, they lose it. Same thing happened yesterday. Same thing's been happening all season. 1-1 against Oakland and Boston. Like, they're tight all the way through. We start getting the bullpen. Oakland's bullpen comes through, keeps it as a low-scoring game. Boston's bullpen lets up 3. They lose 4-1. It's happened all season long. It's going to continue to happen because Boston does not have a bullpen. I've been a big fan of fading Boston because...
Maybe a first 5?
First 5, maybe, if you want to bet Boston, or honestly, you should be live betting Boston games. You should be live betting if they go up 1-0 right away, or if it's tied 1-1 through 5 kind of thing, and they started out as like a plus money. I don't know. But live betting those games is probably a very good idea. Boston bullpen is one of the worst things I've seen in baseball this year. New York Yankees and Tampa Bay Rays. Screw that. I hate that series. That is the worst series to bet on. Don't bet on those games. Don't even bet on Yankees games right now. That team has the firepower to win any game, yet has the inconsistency to lose every game. Do not bet on Yankees games. It's not worth it. Don't care what the odds are. It's not worth it. Texas and Houston. I mean, it's the Astros. Like, they're at minus 190. I probably wouldn't fade the Astros right now. They're playing a little bit better. But I also wouldn't take the Astros, especially at minus 190, because otherwise you're going to have to take minus 1.5, and something stupid's going to happen.
That's always how it goes.
Stay away from that game. Cleveland, Seattle. I really like betting on the Mariners. I saw a stat the other day where if you bet every money line on the Mariners all season long, every game, you'd be up like 10 plus units or something.
Wow.
They come into every single game. What do they get? Yep, plus 115. Every single game, they have basically been plus odds, yet they have a winning record. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. I still think it's the starting pitcher thing. I think that because they don't have great starting pitchers, they don't get a lot of respect on the odds. But their bullpen is just as good as their starters. It carries all the way through. They'll get scored 2 runs on their starter, 2 runs on the bullpen, 3 runs on their starter, 3 runs on their bullpen, 1 run on their starter, 1 run. They're a very consistent, even team. And when they come into every game at plus 150, plus 160, plus 120, plus 130, just keep betting on them. Yeah. They're a good enough team. The MLB is not consistent enough to not be taking teams like that. I will probably be on the Mariners because Cleveland is not impressive right now. That leaves one more, the Braves and Blue Jays. Again, I think these are 2 teams that both are in the same boat in being super inconsistent. The Blue Jays bats do not work. Their defense is decent. Atlanta Braves are supposed to be a lot better than what they are right now. It's one of those teams that have a lot of firepower, but it's too inconsistent at the moment. Mm-hmm. They remind me of the Yankees with just a little bit less talent. Yeah, no, it's not a game that I probably would touch unless you want to do something crazy like a Toronto minus 1.5 and juice your odds way the hell up.
Speaking of juiced odds, I might have a little NBA teaser with some big old lines if everyone's interested.
I'm ready to hear.
5 leg plus 285.
Ooh.
Hornets plus 15, Suns plus 6, Magic plus 21, Kings plus 15, Nuggets plus 4.
Oh, what does it pay?
285.
Ooh, that's not a bad teaser. Wait, say it one more time.
Hornets plus 15, Suns plus 6. Oh, here. Hornets plus 15 at the Clippers. Suns plus 6 against the Trailblazers. Magic plus 21 against the Hawks. Kings plus 15 against the Grizzlies. And Nuggets plus 4 against the T-Wolves.
Yeah, those are all very solid picks. Plus 285.
Plus 285 on that.
I like that. That's a big teaser, but I do like that.
A little big teaser.
I think that's about all for baseball. Man, baseball has just been awful this season.
It's tough to bet, man.
It's so bad. Like, most seasons, it's not easy, but it's like Dodgers minus 1.5, Astros minus 1.5, Yankees minus 1.5, and Padres minus 1.5. That was supposed to be what you were going to do all season this season. And the Dodgers barely even have a winning record right now. And that's why all season long, VIP has just been betting underdogs. I have not bet a favorite in a while. And honestly, it's been helping us way more. The first week of baseball is the only reason that we're down in baseball on VIP right now. Because that first week, we got slaughtered. Don't tell. We lost like 9 units in week 1 of MLB. And ever since then, we've just been slowly inching our way back. Because we're using half a units on all underdogs. It's working. But boy, is it a slow and steady process. You cannot win big in baseball right now. It is tough.
I'm trying to see.
Without getting yourself in trouble.
Baseball's scary.
Baseball's scary. Is my thing working now?
I can't tell.
Me either. I'm gonna... Uno momento, por favor. Keep them entertained.
Yeah, what else do we have here today? We got some more news. Some more general betting news. The full NFL schedule actually released last night. They had their big release party as if it's an album or something that matters, but it's really just a schedule. And we already knew who the teams were playing, but now we know the order. And that matters sometimes. Not really. Looks like our man's back. He's looking like his internet's working great. He's looking clean. He's looking low latency.
Hello, I'm back.
So I'm talking a little NFL schedule release now.
Yeah.
Came out.
Let me revisit the MLB lines real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything stupid here. Twins are getting disrespected. They're only getting 11% of money. As like a plus 118 underdog. That's interesting. The Astros are getting 94% of the money tonight. Do not bet on the Astros. Do not bet on the Astros. Well, I don't think the fans can see little Eric.
They should be able to.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe my shit's just that far behind. Anyways, the Athletics. Yeah, the Stros are getting a shitload of money. Do not bet on the Stros tonight. Not saying bet on the Rangers, just don't bet on the Stros. Because the only way you're betting on them is a minus 1.5, and that's not worth it at 91%.
No, it is not.
The Mariners Yep. So here it is. The Mariners only getting 20% of money. They get disrespected every single game, Sean.
It's
How is
ridiculous.
this possible?
Impossible.
Like, hang on, let me just pull. I just
Do
need
you
to pull
just
up
keep
this
punishing
Mariners
Vegas
stats.
until they respect the Mariners?
I'm gonna keep punishing the public for not being smart. Okay, the Mariners are 18 and 19, right? They're basically 500 this season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go through their wins and the odds at what they hit it at. They're not gonna give it to me. Damn, they're really not gonna give it to me. Normally there's a little stat that's like money line. Huh, interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay. Their last wins plus 113, minus 118, plus 142. Wait, I need to go to their actual schedule. I promise this is worth listening to because it's ridiculous. I don't understand how they keep doing this. Plus 113, minus 118. I think that's the last time I've ever seen them at minus money on a win. Plus 142, win. Plus 139, win. Plus 145, win. Plus 177, win. Plus 158, win. Plus 186, win. Plus 116, win. Like, I get that they're only 500, but every single time they win, they're giving us an extra 0.6 units, 0.5 units, 0.4 units. Like, that adds up. After 18 wins, that adds up a lot. Yeah, I think the Mariners are the dark horse of the MLB right now. They were more a couple weeks or like a month ago. They definitely were much hotter than they are now. They've kind of cooled down, but still, like at these odds, it's ridiculous. And the Diamondbacks are getting a little shit on tonight. They're getting disrespected. They're getting disrespected. The Marlins are heavily favored as one of those teams that I said do not bet on. But I might fade the public anyways. Anyways, just wanted to recap a little MLB. But NBA, right? Yeah. What did you have to say? You were doing something. Oh, NFL schedule, of course. Yeah. Packers have 5 primetime games. That's what I'm saying. Like, how awkward it would be if the NFL gave 5 primetime games and then there's no Aaron Rodgers, and you're now showing a rebuild team 5 primetime games. Oh boy, how did the Eagles' schedule look this year? Because boy, is there going to be a lot of L's on that.
I think we should just wait and see. I think that we should just wait and see, and we'll find out later. The week 1 primetime we went over yesterday, that's looking really, really good.
Yeah, I like the week 1 matchups.
Here's the crazy thing. Tampa Bay has one of the easiest schedules by far.
Really?
Yeah. Just because they're playing the NFC East and the AFC East first of all. And then I mean their own division is the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints with Jameis Winston most likely starting. So it's going to be a completely different look for that squad. They're gonna be the first team to go 17-0, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen now, though, because of the way that schedule gets set up? It's going to be all season long. The narrative is going to be, well, they haven't played anyone. They haven't played anyone. They haven't played anyone. They haven't played anyone. That's going to be. It's you wait. That's going to be the narrative by the end of the season. Is, oh, are the Bucks going to be able to really do it because they haven't played anyone all season? And honestly, it might affect them, like not playing really tough opponents all season, where someone like the Chiefs are probably playing some real good teams most weeks. Like maybe play some shitters, but probably playing some pretty good teams in there. Yeah, it might come down to like, not come down to it, but that's definitely gonna be a narrative, and it might play a factor. If their schedule is that easy and you're not getting like the high like the high level opponents that you probably need to get ready for the Super Bowl. Because let's be honest, like, Tampa Bay, this Super Bowl or bust, like, completely. And I think they were last year too.
So now looking at, we got the over under for win totals are out now with the schedule. So I think one of the ones to look for is Washington over 8.
Washington football team
Uh-huh.
only got 8?
I believe so.
That seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to play divisional opponents 6 times. That's 6.
Exactly.
That's 4 wins at least right there.
Yeah, most likely.
I would think.
You'd really think so?
I think they sweep one team in the division and probably split the other 2. I think that's fair. And then you're telling me they only have to win 5 out of the next 9 games? They're a good team this year. They're going to be a very good team this year.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely better than an 8-win team. That is a losing record in the 17-game era.
Do you think? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With 17 games,
they're going to be below. They're not below 500. No shot.
No way. They're too good of a team. That defense will keep them over 500 alone. Doesn't matter who's at quarterback.
Yeah, totally.
They have a quarterback that can actually air it out. The defense only got better.
Another one.
You think it's their division to lose?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
watching ESPN like I shouldn't be yesterday.
I mean, well, first of all, technically it is their division to lose because they won it last year.
I mean, yeah. Fair.
But along with the fact that, I mean, the Cowboys, I don't think, do people understand how irrelevant the Cowboys have been for so long?
Yes, everyone does except for people in Philly because they still seem to try and keep them relevant.
No, dude, you can't look at the constant media attention, the way people constantly talk. People were saying the Cowboys would be Super Bowl championship. I don't want to hear that nobody thinks people act like the Cowboys are the
Cowboys
most
fans.
Dude, people act like the Cowboys are a top. I guarantee you, if I looked at any power rating right now, they're top 10. 100% guarantee it.
Well, yeah, it's just ESPN.
So it's not just Philly. It's the national media, bro. Everyone's like Cowboy.
Anyone with a brain right now knows that the Cowboys are not relevant and haven't been for how long now? The Cowboys are not relevant. That's why everyone laughs at them every year.
They're not relevant. Yeah. But at the beginning of every season, every year, it's finally the year.
That's because that's the team that everyone cares about the most. Everyone wants to hear about them. Everyone knows they're irrelevant, but they also get every primetime game because they bring in the most fans for the NFL. So everyone has to talk about them all the time. Yeah, but everyone knows that team's fucking irrelevant and is like in the worst, not only in the worst division, but is not even in the maybe not even the top 2 team in that division.
No, they're not. They're the worst team.
I don't put them. I mean, I wouldn't put them that far. I think the Eagles are by far the worst team in the division right now.
I think right now because it's before the season, and
I have
the Giants
Eagles and a football team, and then Giants and Cowboys somewhere in here.
Giants are way better than the Cowboys. I'm confident in that. Oh yeah.
I suppose with Saquon back.
Dude,
their offensive line is so bad. I know they helped.
But so is the Cowboys now. They lost their guys. It's not the same team. So is their defense. It's all gone. It's all gone.
Their offensive line is healthier than they were last year.
Healthier, but they still lost a lot of pieces in the offseason last year.
I think they lost 1 or 2.
They're depleted, dude.
But that defense is so bad. That defense cannot.
And they lost
coming back helps out a little bit, just as far as
the defense was worse when Dak was playing. Honestly, that's why they couldn't do anything anyway. Even though they threw 500 million yards every game, didn't matter.
I'd be so upset if I was Dak. He literally was. He put his team in the lead almost every single one of those games. It was literally they'd go down, Dak would go score, they'd be up 4, and then that Dallas Cowboys would blow the last drive. Every single game. I'd be pissed. This man won every single game for his team, and then the defense just went out and got scored on within 30 seconds.
I'll also say,
how do you not address the problem you have on your defense?
Because there was too many. There was just too many, I guess. There's just too many, so they pretended it didn't happen.
Stupid. So stupid.
I'm just gonna fly through a few more of these win totals that I like.
Yeah.
Dolphins. Here's a little AFC East action. The Dolphins are 8.5. The Patriots are 9.5. I would like the over for the Dolphins, the under for the Pats.
I agree.
Because they don't even know who they're starting. Cam Newton or Mac Jones. I don't think either get 10 wins.
I don't know about the over on the Dolphins, maybe, but the under on the Patriots for sure. 9.5. Come on. I don't think they go. They're barely gonna go 500 if they do.
Also, I like the Ravens under 11.5. AFC North's gonna be tough.
It's a tough division.
They split with every team. I probably 3-3. In one way or another, whether they split maybe.
One way or another, whether they split it or get swept and then sweep
3-3 probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't do. Bengals could be low key. I mean, and they're over under 6.5. It's scary. If it was like 5.5, I'd like the over a lot. But 6 is a little bit.
Honestly, it depends on Joey. I don't know how he's gonna come back from this.
The Browns is 9.5 right now. I would hammer that over.
Yeah.
9.5.
10
come on.
Easily, come on.
And then the Steelers is actually 8.5.
Under.
Really?
Yep. I think they're gonna be so bad this year. I think Big Ben's arm was going last season, and I think it's.
So you think they're gonna win half of the games that they won last year?
I think they are going to win.
They are like
7 games.
I
think they're gonna go.
Well, then that sounds like the under. The Texans is currently 4.5. I don't even want to touch that anyway. Colts is 9.5, and I like the over there.
I like the over.
The Jags is 6.5. I like the under there. I just think betting on a rookie quarterback to not do super well tends to be a good idea.
And new coach and new college coach and you have a tight end. Anyways.
The Broncos is 8.5, and they're the article I'm looking at here is like over. They might have Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, okay, we'll see. But the Raiders 7.5. Depending what their quarterback situation looks like. If they have Carr, I see them winning 8, 9.
Yeah, they go 500. I don't think they're much better than a 500 team, or have the capability of being much more than a 500 team.
Here's an interest: the Chargers are 9.5.
That's high.
That's high, and I really, really like the Chargers. But if
Chargers, but that's really high.
If I was betting on either them winning 10 games or Herbert having a little bit of a sophomore slump, could be.
Yeah,
I would just stay away from it though.
The Chargers' track record, I would pretty easily tell you which one's gonna happen.
Chiefs is 12.5, and I still like that over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with 17 games now, 13-4.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were 14-2 last year. They did it. There was an extra game. Yeah, AFC or the NFC East all stinks. Don't worry about any of those except football team, as we talked about. 8.5 is an easy over.
What are the Eagles?
6.5, which I kind of like that over as well.
I kind of like the over there. I think they can win 8 games.
You're gonna tell me, all right. I don't want to hear a word of you. All right, here's the NFC East right now. The Eagles is 6.5. The Giants are 7.5. The football team is 8.5. And the Cowboys are 9.5. And you're not gonna you're gonna tell me that everyone doesn't just act like the Cowboys are really good every season until it actually starts. Do you want to know what other teams are 9.5? The Chargers are also 9.5. The Broncos are 8.5. The Raiders are 7.5. The Titans are 9.5. The Titans had.
Yikes.
Come on, dude. The Colts are 9.5. The Browns are 9.5. I get it's because also they're in the NFC East and they have to play NFC East teams. But that's only 6 times. Yeah.
And they gave it better than the Washington football teams over wins losses. Isn't football team 8.5?
Yeah. It's better than the Dolphins are 8.5. The Pats are also 9.5, which I don't think makes sense, but whatever. Ridiculous. Come on, guys. What are we doing?
But with that extra game, it makes things really interesting because
You can't go
I
500.
mean, over 9.5. Over 9.5. Okay.
The Seahawks are over 9.5.
Yeah, I would take the under on that too.
Me too.
That's a tough division.
Saints are 9.5. I would take the over on that, just assuming that big Jameis Winston can see again, and he's got his big old cannon and an arm, and he's just throwing balls around. Hopefully.
I don't know.
Oh, your Vikings are at 8.5.
I'll take the over. I think we have a mediocre season, 10-7.
You cannot bet on the Packers. There's no total on the
Really?
board. Nope, there's none on the board.
Does Denver have one?
Denver is 8.5.
Okay.
I believe.
I
Lions 5.5. Kind of like that over.
Yeah, we'll see. Our division's gonna be tough this year.
Yeah.
That's they might not win very many divisional games. It's gonna be tough for them.
I'm also liking the Tampa over 11.5 and Arizona over 8.5.
Arizona over 8.5. Yeah, hell yeah.
And there's one more.
Arizona over 8.5. Whoa.
Yeah, and the 49ers under 10.5 as well. I like that too.
Okay. Arizona is only getting 8.5.
Yeah, that's right.
They think 9-8. You don't think the Arizona Cardinals can go 9-8?
I mean, the NFC West is always scary. There's gonna be a lot of.
Yeah, but the
But
Cardinals.
again,
could have
assume
gone
it's
9-8 last
3
year,
and
they
3.
got
Assume
better.
it's 2 and 4, and it's still yeah. Exactly.
Come on. Yeah, they're gonna split.
That should
and then
be
they have
easy.
to win 5 in the next. Yeah, come on. It's a good team.
And dude, so many other, even a lot of the losses last year just came down to weird coach calls in the fourth quarter. Like
Yeah.
a lot of it came down to some weird calls. So maybe if that gets figured out, that's easy wins. But yeah,
Easy.
so a little bit of interesting stuff with those.
I would like to revisit NHL futures.
Take it back to the futures.
I would like to visit NHL futures because I am looking at it currently and it is making me so angry.
Here, I'm actually all right. Yeah, we can do that. I'll pull up a little graphic for it.
Yeah. So right now, Avalanche, and honestly, maybe I was a little harsh on the Avalanche saying that they shouldn't be the favorites before because they are a very good team and that goalie is incredible right now. He's by far the best goalie in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, 2 through 5 makes absolutely zero sense to me for the favorites. Number 2
Really?
is Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are not the second best team in the NHL. They're the second best team in the West. There's a difference. There's 4 divisions in the NHL. They're the second best team in the West, and I think people are forgetting that just because they play the Avalanche tough doesn't mean they're the second best team. It means they're the second best team in the West, not the second best team in the NHL. And they're at plus 550 right now. I think that's super stupid. I think if you take that future, you're wasting your money because they're just so much better futures. The Maple Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs in the worst division in the NHL are getting
Bash about it.
the third best odds. Third best odds. That team is not the third best team in the NHL. And I see what Vegas did. They literally took 1-2 from the West, and then they took the first from the North, and then they took 1-2 from the South, or the East? No. Yeah, South. Hurricanes and Lightning. But again, the East is the best division in COVID hockey, and it's not close. Let me say this again. The East is the best division in COVID hockey, and the best odds for the best team in the East right now, the Boston Bruins, is plus 1,000. The Capitals, plus 1,700. Ovechkin is healthy. Backstrom's healthy. TJ Oshie's healthy. They have not one but 2 starting goalies that can both play. The Penguins, Malkin's back. Crosby's healthy. Jake Gensel's playing out of his mind. They have not one, 2 goalies, 2 starting goalies that could play on any team in the whole NHL. The Islanders, one of the best home records of any team in the NHL this year, getting plus 2,000. What are we doing? Playing in the hardest division in the NHL. I'm telling you, one of these teams from the East is going to win the Cup.
Just put money on all of them.
Just put money on all. Put $100 on all of them. You're gonna make $1,000.
There you go.
At very minimum, you're gonna make $1,000. I just don't get it. You put I mean, you don't even have to do the Islanders because they maybe don't have as good of a shot. But man, this doesn't make sense, Sean. These lines don't make sense to me.
Yeah, we have it up here.
I mean, like Avalanche is 1, sure, but then 2 through 6 should have all East teams.
Yeah.
There should be 4 East teams in the top 6. Maybe not. Maybe not Islanders. I'll give them top 10. But there should be 3 East teams in the top 6, and there is 1, and it's 6th, which is stupid. That's my rant for the futures, because every day I look at these, it's gonna make me angry. And like, remember how we were talking about the NFL? How like, okay, fine, bet on the first one, because I promise you, the Vegas Golden Knights will not win the Stanley Cup. They have to go through the Avalanche, and they cannot beat the Avalanche. The Avalanche is at plus 450. So put $100 in the Avalanche, and you got 3 other shots to take.
Right.
And I'm telling you, you should do Bruin or like Capitals, Penguins, and then whoever else you have an inkling about. But that's the smartest way to do that. You should be picking 2 teams from the East, and then take your 3rd shot wherever you want. Put it on the Wild. Fuck it. Plus 2,200 to win the cup, their first cup. Oh, and by the way, you're about to see full-on Wild fan like you've never seen once these playoffs start.
Oh boy,
I'm excited. I've been cooling it in the corner all season just because I'm real nervous about my team. I don't want to get too much hope up because this happens all the time. But we have the best rookie in the fucking NHL for like the first time ever. And oh my God, I'm going to freak out every single time he scores a goal. This man is unreal. Kirill Kaprizov. Not only does he have the coolest name in
that is a sick name.
He wears 97.
Oh,
Kirill Kaprizov wears 97.
That's tough.
And he's just some Russian little dude who just he's so sick. I love that dude.
He just flies around.
Kaprizov jersey will be bought in the offseason, I can promise you. Once we sign him to that 7-year contract.
Woo!
I hope he gets a massive contract. We got about 5 minutes left here, Shiny D. What are we taking him? What are we taking him out on a beautiful Thursday with? Which Friday tomorrow? Friday tomorrow. God, I can't wait.
Baby.
Twitter gonna be popping tomorrow.
Hold on, I'm raving right now.
Oh yeah, you're raving.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, Forbes has the top 10 highest paid athletes list just came out. Fun little.
Oh yeah, Conor McGregor tipped off #1, right?
Yes, sir. The first time ever 4 athletes earned over $100 million in the past year.
Now, what does that like sponsorships, salaries, everything? How do they determine that?
Total earnings.
Total earnings.
So
that's got to be like sponsorships and everything. Then.
I think it includes
in
everything.
1 year.
Wow. Okay, yeah, so this is actually both off the field earnings. Actually, I wonder if I can get this cuz this chart's pretty cool right here in the so just like to describe it, the off the field earnings used to be like a fraction of what the on field earnings are. And then since 2020 they got back together and then have just been climbing together. It's pretty interesting here.
So who is top 5? Connor's 1.
Connor is 1. Messi is 2. Connor was 180 mil. Messi was 130. Ronaldo was 120.
Is this so annually?
This is just the amount of money they made in 2020.
Oh my God. $180 million.
Here, you want to get you want to know who number 4 is?
Yeah.
Dak.
Wow.
Will every source of information I'm looking at just keep proving my point, please?
Please.
Because, dude,
open a new tab. I bet it proves it one more time.
McGregor, Messi, Ronaldo, Dak Prescott, LeBron James. Come on.
Dak Prescott, LeBron. He made more money than LeBron last year?
Yes. He made about $11 million more than LeBron last year.
He must be on literally everything in Dallas.
And he signed his contract with a ton of guaranteed money. That's also fair. It depends on the year you sign that, so
that's fair. That's probably why he's in there, but still he must have Dallas by the balls down there. He must be sponsored by every single Dallas thing ever.
But I'm sorry.
I mean, that's how JJ was in Houston.
I'm sorry, but McGregor, Messi, Ronaldo, LeBron James, Neymar, Roger Federer, Lewis Hamilton, Tom Brady, and Kevin Durant, and Dak Prescott.
He's relevant. That's so funny. That list of names is so crazy.
Yeah, it's literally
and then to put him in there.
Like GOAT quarterback, arguable GOAT basketball player, GOAT soccer, GOAT tennis.
Like four of the
four
goats
of the
soccer. Like literally the GOATs.
Lewis Hamilton has, for people who don't know about F1, has won 6 championships in the last 7 seasons. Dak Prescott has watched the Super Bowl on his couch the same amount of times that I have. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do. I want to go to bed. I don't know.
That is fourth. God, that list of names is so crazy just to have him sprinkled in there. Like, I definitely wouldn't have guessed the F1 guy, but man, you win F1 6 times in 7 seasons. You know how much purse money that is? That's fucking absurd. And you know how many sponsorships he has from every car brand ever? But Dak Prescott. Yo, boy.
It's also he is also the youngest on this list.
Dak?
Yeah.
How old is Dak? 24?
27.
Oh, 27. Wow, he's the youngest on that?
Yeah. KD's 32. Tampa Tom's 43. Lewis
God, that's so weird that KD is 32 years old, dude.
Yeah. Why does he feel
LeBron in the finals in one of his first seasons?
Yeah, why does it feel like he should be like 36?
I mean, because he's been out for like 3 seasons.
Oh, actually, they break down the on and off the field money. So here's crazy. So for like McGregor in first, out of his 180 mil, 22 mil was on the field, 158 was off the field. And then you look at Messi, he's 97 million on the field, 33 million off the field. That's called soccer.
Yeah.
And then
that's called getting paid.
And then Dak is $97.5 million on the field and $10 million off the field. That is called confusing.
That is called not right.
LeBron's $31.5 million on the court, 65 off, as expected, I'd say.
Yeah, actually, I'd almost expect him to make more off the field.
Yeah,
but that is great. Like $65 million off the field when you don't own your own whiskey company.
Yeah, he does. He can. I guarantee every product that he has ever touches, I guarantee someone gave to him and he sponsored. Like that is at that point you can do it every. And then KD's similar, 31 and 44. Tom's 45 and 31, which is just the
44
flop.
off the.
Yeah.
Court. That's
Yeah.
kind of surprising. I didn't
he's got the Nike check. He's got.
Yeah. He's got his shoes.
Oh, he has $1 million invested into Uber. So he made a lot of money when they bought Postmates. He also owns a stake in the Philadelphia Union.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So
he's
that's
just
fun.
buying up everything.
Oh, and he had that short film too. Well, what a guy! What a multi-talented really Renaissance little snake.
Snake. Yeah, I was like, make sure you put in the snake part there.
Wow, this is crazy. Roger Federer made $0.03 million on the field and $90 million off the field. He didn't even play most of last year, and he made the 7th most money out of every athlete.
That's that Rolex money, baby.
Yeah.
That's that Rolex money. That is straight Rolex money. He gets paid probably an absurd amount of money from Rolex. Like a crazy, 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 crazy amount.
Yeah, he has a lot of deals with them. Let's see. What's LeBron's? Oh, the Space Jam, a new legacy. He has a new deal with PepsiCo after he left Coca-Cola.
What? He's
This
no
just
longer
in.
Sprite?
Breaking. LeBron James has been traded from Coca-Cola to PepsiCo.
Wait, no more Sprite, LeBron?
I guess not. Wow, he also has a
Fucking
stake
suck.
in Fenway Sports Group
And Blaze Pizza.
and Blaze Pizza.
Don't forget about Blaze Pizza, bro.
And he's got that Nike check. Mm-hmm.
And he's got that
Nike check. This is this is a good list, man. This is entertaining.
That's a good list.
I would recommend this to look at. It's very cool.
Well, it's 12:03.
12:03.
We've outdone it. We've outdone our stay.
You're about done at this time.
Streaming for 120 minutes, almost on the dot.
I think we forgot to take some breaks here.
Yeah, we definitely did. But
That's
fine.
alright. That's alright.
Shit was rolling.
Shit was rolling.
The internet was unstable.
It was
We adapted.
unstable.
We came out on
We beat the internet.
We beat the living shit out of the internet, and we beat the living shit out of the bookies yesterday, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Up like 2 units in VIP, no big deal.
Give me that money.
Once again. Yeah, I think that's it for today.
All right.
Tomorrow is Fellas Friday. Oof. Twitter's gonna be popping. I'm gonna have free VIPs for weeks for people to tune in and comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna have my slate posted on the. Oh man, it's gonna be a good Friday tomorrow. I'm excited.
Remember,
I'm excited for today. Good games today.
If you want to get excited for today too, check out heyfellas.co. Free picks every day. You just have to make an account, comment, have fun with the boys. Also, premium packages available, premium parlays available for less than $1 a day. Also, if you want some free plays, check out the Twitter at heyfellasbets. Also,
and the merch.
fresh merch,
sick merch.
always in the
HFs.
store. Always in the store. Reasonable price, super soft. That's not in the store, but we do have other visors though. We got new visors, new dad hats. You want a dad hat? Father's Day is coming up.
True. Very true. Very true. Very true. All correct things. Out of the
You're
space
welcome.
mouth. Can't wait
Heyfellas.co.
to,
Checking out.
Can't wait to get my daily dose of Dak Prescott and how the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. Can't wait. Because they're the best team. That is all for today.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Fight Sean downstairs.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll meet you outside, dude.
You know what that outro beat, Johnny?
I'll see you at the tetherball pole in 5, nerd.
I'll see you at the water pipe, bro. I'll see you at the water pipe.
Bro, the pipe burst. Hold on. Take us out, Timmy.
Take us out, Timmy.
Take us out, Timmy. I said.
Timmy.
I said.
Timmy.
Okay, see you guys.